So, staying with deep subject knowledge, where did you learn that?
By observing other people, and I thought I did things well, then I would determine why I did. And you can't be too sure on that. For example, a player that I had that you remember very well, Keith Wilkes. He had the craziest shot. He got way back here. You don't shoot that way. But he did, and they went in. I'm not going to fool around with them. They're going in. I know that's all wrong, but the result is coming all right, so I'll accept that with him. But I'm certainly not going to try to teach that. And but so there's exceptions to all things. But getting back to your thing before, Dr. Creek, the head of the English department at Purdue University when I was there, he wanted me to stay on and at Purdue and try to, become a college English professor. And he said, you have to do it. You got to forget that sports. You got to forget that sports. You can't be a real good English teacher and be fooling around with the sports too. And you don't have the time. And I think he's right, to really be able to do it well. I didn't have the time to do a good job of all the things I was doing.
So you left the English and became a coach at Indiana State. So at Indiana State, was that the first time that you just had basketball? Well, you also taught, though. You taught a few classes, right?
Yes, and baseball. I had baseball coach, too.
But were you able to give basketball the time that it needed?
More time than I'd been able to before. Probably.
Okay. And is that when you started your kind of a modular study? You took one area of the game each off season?
That's right.
And that has to do with getting deeper knowledge of what you're doing. How did you go about that? How did you choose a subject to study, and then how did you go about doing that?
Well, let's say it might be, just to get one example, let's say it might be free throw shooting. Well, I'd know teams and coaches, both high school and college, that their teams did exceptionally well on that. So I would write to them and ask them, and if those that had books out, I'd get their books and read the books. And then I'd talk to individual players that were excelled in that particular thing and put notes on that. And then eventually I'm going to tell them with one composite of all those. And if someone that was having exceptional success and did something that no one else seems to be doing, I want to know why. That others weren't doing it, they're so good. And then I contact that one individual personally to see what the object. I think of maybe an example of when Louis Alcindor chose to come to UCLA. Immediately when he used to come, I contact Wilt Chamberlain, I contact Mel Counts, I contact coaches that had unusually tall players, to see what they can tell me that can help me teach this youngster to work into our particular system and execute the fundamentals that are going to be necessary for me then to get them to work into our system. So I wanted to try to find out all I could about people that I thought were knowledgeable about working with an unusually big man, which I'd never had.